tomorrow is here. Drama, esi mepe adiwa. Makana miri ababago. Industrial revolution. Abatago nenukunu. Okwa digital economy. Yeah. Agricultural revolution. Oh. Yeah. Esi nchekwa paper. The rock. Oboruzo dima. The rock. Esi ahwike marama. The rock. Quality education and all-round development. Yo. The rock. Our tomorrow is here. I say my tomorrow is here. Our tomorrow is here. I know my tomorrow is here.
Enugu, exactly 12 months ago, I was inaugurated as your governor. In that solemn moment, I felt the weight of history as I look around the sea of heads that swarmed the Opera Square that morning, and became even more determined to surpass the expectations that I glimpsed on your faces. I pledged wholesome service to you, the people, in my oaths of office and allegiance. This ceremony is significant because it also celebrates 25 years of unbroken democratic rule in Nigeria. I congratulate Enugu and every Nigerian for this milestone. While this long run is testament to our resilience as a people, it yet serves as a reminder that democracy should never be construed as an exclusive preserve. Societies thrive when governments nurture a sense of inclusion and banish feelings of alienation. Let's think about it. What really is democracy without the people? Without the people, democracy loses its defining ethos. You will thus recall that the first action I took barely 1 hour after I was sworn in as governor was the signing of 3 executive orders. The first such order was in regard to the Citizens' Charter, which essentially outlined our commitment to the provision of jobs, as well as quality amenities and services that substantially improve citizens' living conditions, transparent and inclusive governance, and the convening of consultative town hall meetings to present government's plans and receive citizens' feedback. That action was beyond symbolisms and in no way driven by any quest for validation. It boldly reaffirmed my conviction that to make the people the centerpiece of our government's policies. The commitment I made on my first day in office, and indeed every single pledge I made on the campaign trail, are sacred pronouncements against which all my actions as governor should expectedly be benchmarked. From the outset, there was absolute clarity about our vision for Enugu State, which could be summed up thus: to make Enugu one of the top 3 states in Nigeria in terms of gross domestic product, and achieve a 0% rate in the Poverty Headcount Index. This also includes our resolute goal to grow Enugu State's GDP from $4.4 billion to at least $30 billion in the next 4 to 8 years. Security. We realized as well that nothing poses as much threats to the spirit of enterprise and indeed drains life out of a city as does criminality or any hint of it. That explained why freeing the state from the stranglehold of an illegal sit-at-home order was among the earliest actions I took as governor. Crime may be an ever-present fixture in the society. Nonetheless, we have a zero tolerance for crime in Enugu State, and we continue to demonstrate this through our consistent fight against crime, strengthening the capacity of the distress response squad and providing logistical support to the various security arms in Enugu State. Water supply. So when I gave a 180-day time frame within which Enugu's water problem would be solved, it wasn't because I considered it a low-hanging fruit that could be easily notched. It was because I knew where the provision of potable water ranked on every resident's wish list and how urgently they wanted it to be ticked off. I reckoned that the problem of acute shortage of potable water that Enugu residents had experienced for decades should by no means become a situation that simply has to be endured. The mere fact that an anomaly had persisted for so long is not an excuse for it to be normalized, as it were. That is why daily sights of children standing in long queues with buckets and cans to buy water from tankers was one of my most depressing encounters during the campaign for last year's general elections. Today, we have transitioned from that utterly unacceptable narrative to a situation where potable water is accessed simply by turning on taps in homes and in public galleries. Nonetheless, context is still important. To give us a sense of the scale of this accomplishment, let's understand that daily water supply to Enugu Municipal was an average of 2 million liters before our intervention. But we upped that paltry figure to 120 million liters of daily water supply. And we did so within the projected time frame. Again, like I noted earlier, the hows and whys of municipal problems are usually not subject the public is easily inclined to contemplate. Solutions are what its ears are primed to listen to, and that's natural. But context remains vital, for it helps lend perspectives and shed light on presumptions and misconceptions. The fact is that only about 45% of what constitutes Enugu metropolis was reticulated, comprising mostly the older residential neighborhoods. Much of the outlying and fairly recent districts were never connected to the supply grid. We have successfully delivered water to those areas originally on the distribution line, mostly including neighborhoods where public water had not run in decades. A good example is the Enugu campus of the University of Nigeria, UNEC. It was gratifying seeing the excitement on the face of the Deputy Vice Chancellor as water gushed out from the institution's main supply line 2 days ago. The excitement for the students would be just as sky high. And why shouldn't it be? The sanitary conditions in hostels generally improve when there is regular water supply. Indeed, this is why governments exist. Coal Camp is other such neighborhood where the taps had been dry for longer than most residents could recall. So the excitement was understandably palpable. On a general note, we have achieved this level of coverage across the Enugu Municipal. GRA 1 and 2, 80%. Ababa, 55%. Ogui, 80%. Independence Layout, including parts of Nza Street, 60%. Owani, 85%. Transekulu, 30%. New Haven, 85%. Ido River, 55%. Emene, 60%. The public water supply experience in most of these neighborhoods and their surrounding areas was at best unreliable and at worst non-existent. And it had been that way for years. Once the issues of replacement of pipes and waterline obstructions were seen in several locations arising from fiscal planning infractions are resolved, a total coverage of reticulation around the areas would be achieved. Roads. We're, for instance, increasingly seeing roads that were for many years bywords for neglect and municipal dysfunction wearing new looks. I'm sure nearly everyone in Enugu wouldn't have to think hard to cite few such neighborhoods. They abound, from the once potholed and dusty roads of Ududukoko and its environs in Gariki, the gullies that for years left Transikulu a shell of its once glorious past, to the literally impassable Premier Layout and College Road in Ababa. The primary responsibility of government, after all, is the security and welfare of the people. I can say confidently that there is hardly anyone who hasn't encountered some major road construction around their locality. It hardly matters where you live. Our rehabilitation and reconstruction of 71 roads in Enugu urban areas has ensured that virtually every neighborhood in the city is experiencing an impressive road infrastructure makeover. Our rural communities are not left out. The ongoing construction of the 40-kilometer Owo-Obaho, Amankanu-Neke-Ikem dual carriage that would practically open a new gateway to the north-central region is indicative of our determination to bring a new lease of life to rural communities. Every intervention in the last 1 year has further reinforced the need to radically retool our socio-economic paradigm to make the hopes and aspiration of Ndi Enugu not to perennially seem like a dream deferred. Education. This realization strikes a particular resonant tone in our education sector, where the learning imparted to our children over the years had failed to keep pace with the rapidly changing world of knowledge. This evolving order is rendering obsolete our children's supposed knowledge, causing them to be left behind as the rest of the world continues to take giant strides. Our Smart Green School initiative is a bold response to the shortcoming of our public education system. The smart schools, which we're building in each of the state's 260 electoral wards, are clearly at the cutting edge of innovation. Our Smart School project is not an abstract dream. Its prototype stands out elegantly in Owo as a pointer to what the 259 others would look like on completion by 2025. Construction works are ongoing at 135 schools, with contract for the rest due for award in the second phase. Each smart school features an interactive digital smart board, an internet system, robotics, and artificial intelligence center, modern ICT center, 2 science laboratories, hybrid multimedia library, creative production studio, 25 inclusive classrooms, and 700 Android tablets. Through these schools, we're nurturing a silent technological revolution. So our disruptive innovation mantra is by no means a catchphrase merely intended to captivate. It is rooted in the conviction that innovation is the handmaiden of development. The famous saying, credited to Saudi Arabia's former oil minister, Ahmed Zaki Yamani, that the Stone Age didn't end for lack of stone easily comes to mind here. The wealth of a nation may be measured in terms of material resources, oil reserves, and the like. But the true wealth lies in the quality of a state's human resources, shaped to a great degree by the attention paid to public education. For no nation can truly rise above its education standards. My administration's 158 billion naira education budget is both the highest per capita in the country and in regard to the percentage of total budget sum at 33%. It is also higher than UNESCO's recommended benchmark of 15 to 20% of total annual budget. I dare say it's perhaps the highest in the world. Health. Our investment in the health sector is no less remarkable. We're also building new Type 2 healthcare facilities across the 260 electoral wards in the state. For us, though, it's not just about the physical structures. We're just as enthused by those features that truly make hospitals worth their name. This reflects in the 30 PHCs currently being built. Each center is equipped and boasts the requisite manpower comprising doctors, nurses, and other relevant health workers. We have also paid due attention to the welfare of our healthcare workers and have ensured that every obligation in relation to allowances as well as agreements are fulfilled. This includes employment of medical practitioners as may be necessary to bring our doctor-to-patient ratio to acceptable standards. This would be impacted no less by the presence of the Enugu State University of Medical and Applied Sciences, which received further boost when I signed the bill upgrading the institution to a teaching hospital. A few weeks ago, we signed a contract for the revamp of the iconic presidential hotel, and works have actually begun in that regard. I also performed the groundbreaking for the 345-room International Conference Center Hotel, Enugu, a few days ago, which would be the first 5-star hotel category in the Southeast. The absence of a truly 5-star hotel has long deprived Enugu State the opportunity of tapping into the immense benefit inherent in the expansive service industry, such as conferences, meetings, and events. This is despite the long illustrious history of our capital city. With its completion schedule of 11 months, this hotel, alongside the 5,000 seating capacity International Conference Center due for opening in a few months, will take us a step closer to our aim to make Enugu the conferencing capital of Africa. It is instructive that Presidential Hotel was built in 1963 with income earned largely from agriculture by the premier of the defunct Eastern region, Dr. Michael Okpara. The same could be said of the several once thriving but now moribund industries such as Niger Gas Company Limited, Niger Steel Limited, Sunrise Flour Mills, and so many others. We're already taking steps toward reviving these industries. So we are scaling up agricultural production in Enugu State. Never again will investment in agriculture seem like a mere token gesture or an afterthought. And I can boldly say we're on the verge of an agricultural renaissance, given how we are steadily creating the inputs that would enable us to reap abundantly from the potential it offers. For instance, we had created 100,000 hectares of land in each of Enugu's 3 senatorial zones for the cultivation of export-focused cash crops and building the infrastructure that opens up opportunities in the entire value chain from storage to processing of agricultural produce. Transportation. As we strive to reposition Enugu as a major hub for business, sports, tourism, and leisure, giving the city a new lease of life conducive to those lofty dreams has become a compelling necessity. Since the discovery of coal in 1909, Enugu has grown from a modest colonial outpost with a handful of encampments for workers of the various coal mines to the bustling megapolis that it is today. Across the world, cities' livability drops if they lack a functional transport system with organized bus terminals that confer dignity on users and enhance seamless commuting, both at intra and interstate levels. Through the central terminal we're set to construct in Ogbete, Holy Ghost, Gariki, Ababa, and Nsukka, we're creating a modern transportation interchange that literally opens up our beloved city and eliminates the enormous man-hour that is lost to traffic on a daily basis. To create a comfortable commute for the public and ensure sanity on our roads, we're procuring 150 CNG buses, of which 50 had already been procured, and this will be deployed across various routes. We're also bringing in over 2,000 taxis in conjunction with a private desirous of setting up an assembly plant in Enugu. Waste management. Few things blight cities like heaps of refuse. Across the world, as a matter of fact, waste management is a potent marker of municipal efficiency and government responsiveness. For us, rising population cannot be an excuse for overflowing waste bins anywhere in the state, let alone in the heart of the capital. To this end, I'm delighted to announce that Enugu State is on the verge of securing a remarkable 100 million naira grant from the African Climate Foundation, which will be instrumental in developing a groundbreaking and innovative science-based climate change policy and action plan for the state. This pioneering initiative will be the first of its kind across the 36 states of the Federation. The beauty and ugliness we see in Western capitals and cities were not wished into existence. Behind those qualities lie diligent planning, respect for laws, and sacrifice. Suffice it to say that development is sometimes akin to the early stages of road construction. There might be some slight discomfort, but the end is often redeeming. The Enugu new city was envisioned to be the premier investment destination in Nigeria, sitting on a corridor that connects the southeast, south-south, and north-central regions, plus the fact that it is a mere 15 minutes drive from the Akanu Ibiam International Airport. The Enugu new city signals the birth of a new world of opportunities. This vibrant, integrated metropolis, driven by manufacturing, commerce, and tourism, would boast facilities comparable to the standards in global renowned cities, from theme park to industrial park. During the campaign, I lamented the fact that Enugu had all but lost its enviable reputation as a preferred location for Nollywood movie productions. I had, of course, expressed a desire to change that narrative. Aside from securing a multi-million-dollar deal to construct an entertainment and sports park in Enugu, we have made substantial investment in rehabilitating the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium, numerous tourist sites, and in organizing major events where young up-and-coming artists happily showcased their talents. Human capital development and workers' welfare. We are also implementing an e-governance technology and digitalization in Enugu State with significant positive impacts on both the people and the economy. The key benefits include increased accessibility and convenience. It would also improve service delivery, transparency, and enhanced communication and feedback from the public. This will be launched in 3 weeks' time. Few years from now, we can all look back with pride on the role we played. It won't be because we want to be heralded as change makers. We would look back and say, we did what we did because it was the right thing to do. So when we say tomorrow is here, it speaks to the immediacy of the task at hand and reminds us that the future we envision is within our grasp, but only to the extent that we innovate. Just like the work began for me minutes after being sworn in 12 months ago, today the work ahead is no less urgent. The work ahead may be daunting, but our determination is unwavering. Ndi Enugu, I thank you all for your support in this past year. The depth of my gratitude equates only to my zeal to make Enugu an inspiring tale of success. I enjoin you to continue to have faith in this journey because democracy is a collective work. Let our commitment be renewed by the much we have achieved so far. As we have seen, it is not a leap of faith. It is faith that stems from conviction. We have crossed many watermarks of success. So on this momentous day, these words by the iconic Chinua Achebe best capture our optimism regarding Enugu's future. It's morning yet on Creation Day. Indeed, tomorrow is here. God bless Enugu State and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.